Hi YouTube, welcome back to Momo Interviews, and today I have a very special guest with me, the one and only Tuxedo. So first thing I want to do is get a little intro about you, Tuxedo. Tell me a small introduction about you.
First, thank you, Momo, for this interview. Hopefully, I'll point out some insightful things, points, everything in general. For people who don't know who I am, I'm known as Tuxedo. I'm from Bahrain. I'm a caster. I'm an ex-coach. You can say maybe a semi-pro player, and mostly a lot of games. I started gaming since I was 12. And here I am sitting with Momo doing an amazing interview.
You are welcome, Tuxedo. So let's start with the first question, of course. What got you into gaming?
Basically, what got me into gaming, like I usually just so my father is an aircraft engineer, and he barely had time to come back home, for example. So he always had his PC to chill around and play Age of Empires, a couple of MMOs with my uncle, and I guess that actually grew up into the family because we literally have a gaming family, like all of our like cousins,
You have a gamer
everyone.
dad. That's so cool.
Yeah, gamer, and he actually like comes into my room. Is like, oh, how's the tournament? Who's winning? And
Oh, how about
it's
how
it's
about the
actually
mom?
interesting. My mom is understandable. Okay,
Okay.
she didn't agree at first because I actually spent a lot of time on PC. But yeah, but she barely accepted what I'm doing, especially when right now,
Okay.
when I started being a caster analyst with Valorant. She's like, "Oh, all right, you made it.
You
Like,
got the
okay,
bag.
yeah. I got the badge.
Okay.
I got the badge from mom. Okay, you can do that. Yeah,
All right.
okay, yeah. Don't
And
go out and search for another job. You can do this if you want."
that's
That's the
actually
thing.
really nice.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
it took a while. I'm not gonna lie, and it's really nice to have a family that understands gaming, and it's not just my father and my uncle and my cousins. Even though we had a gaming room back in the day when we were teenagers,
you had a
or maybe
gaming
younger.
room? That's so
Yeah,
cool.
we had like four PCs, and you remember the old screens that like
Yeah.
the square
Heavy.
ones? Yeah, the heavy ones, and the white keyboard.
And the one where you
That's
like
the
touch
thing.
the screen, it feels like there's a weird sensation, right?
Yeah,
When you pass
that's
it.
kind of a plasma thing, I think.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So, and we also had the roller mouse,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
ball down below. It's like every single time you have to just remove the ball, clean it from inside. So the sensor actually, I mean, the ball moves actually quite well.
Correctly. Yeah.
And yeah, so basically that's it, and that's where I started. And across the years I played multiple games, and all of the games I have played were competitive: Rocket League, um, League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, Counter Strike 1.6, Counter Strike Global Offensive. Actually, 1.6 is the most game I played, I think, my whole life,
Wow, okay.
from 13 years old, or 12 years old, until I was like around 16, 17. I had 11K hours. So yeah, that's a lot. And then League of Legends came and stole the scene from us. So we had to go to League of Legends as well. And here we are, playing Valorant, casting on Valorant.
So after League, you saw Valorant was out and you joined the game. You're like, oh, let's try this
I
game.
actually stopped playing League before Valorant was out. I can't remember what game I was playing. Yeah, I was playing MMOs, I think, and
You were
I was
always
jumping
playing
from.
games.
Yeah, it's definitely always games, and I always took every single game, no matter what. If it's an MMO, if it's like
FPS.
if it's, yeah, FPS, even if it's a solo game, I always took it so competitive.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I took it so competitive. Like I literally took it in. Like I want to be the best at this game, no matter what. I was always that guy, kind of guy. I want to achieve something. Uh, at least, like for example, if I'm playing MMO, I would really love always to be one of the people that actually reach the max level first. So that's actually an achievement for me. Gearing my character was my achievement. Getting into the arena PvPs, it was always about competitive game.
All right. And so, from being a gamer, what inspired you to be an analyst?
I think most likely. So at first, let's be real. Like it's definitely, it's every gamer kid dream to become a pro player at first. So that's where we started. And after that, I saw like, okay, I'm growing older. MENA region is not growing yet. I'm 24 years old. I have to find something else. Okay, let's get into coaching. I played this game, this game, this game. I think I have enough knowledge. So I got into coaching a little bit. Started studying online, donating for coaches on their streams, getting those answers for my questions. Trying to get as much knowledge as I can. I read about psychology, mindsets, how to actually understand my players, how to actually understand my team environment, how to actually get them into that right mindset for whatever they're doing, whatever it is, either solo individual increase of human performance skills, increasing the high level play of that specific player, or teamwork, which is scrims, or the mindset of champion going into a championship, or
Yeah.
basically going into a tournament. So yeah, so it took me a while, and coaching also didn't work that well. And when I went into Valorant, I applied for casting. I actually applied for LoL Nexus, but the talent list was full, like the talent pool that they had. They had the list of talents already, so I was late.
You applied
I
as a
didn't get the
caster for
chance.
Nexus?
Yes, because I casted multiple tournaments for League of Legends locally in Bahrain, but I didn't go actually like
Anywhere
other
else?
than, yeah, anyone else in
Yeah.
VCC, Mena. No, I didn't. So it was only locally, but I had experience. I was like planning on getting my experience out there. Didn't get the chance, but here I am again, applying to Riot Games and getting the job as an analyst and a caster. First, they wanted me an analyst. I really wanted to get into casting. I know my casting is bad, but yeah, it's always improve. There is always a
Room
room
for
for improvement.
improvement, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, and here I am, yeah, and as well, while applying as a caster and analyst for Valorant, I became the head coach of Piercer Esports, and then I had the decision to pick either coaching or casting. So I picked casting. Coaching, I really respect all the coaches out there. It's really hard work. I used to wake up in the morning at 9, take breakfast, go exercise for 30 minutes. I start at 10, watching VODs until 5 p.m. From 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., I usually just, get these strategies all together. And then from 7 p.m. until 12 a.m., I would scrum with the players. So it's
Okay.
really hard work.
So we can say it's been like 3 years since you got into casting and
It's
being an
since
analyst.
2018, yes, almost like for 3 years, I would say. I started the
Okay.
first casting game on 2015 and 2016. The first one, 2015, was a random Counter Strike tournament in one of the local events. I think it was IGN in Bahrain. And the second one was 2016. It was Comic Con, I think. There was Phantom Masters, and I started casting League of Legends there with Hakim.
Okay. So
So
tell me about like your first experience as an analyst, not as a caster, in a LAN event, and your latest experience as an analyst.
oh, that's actually, yeah. See, that's what I was talking about with you. That like the questions that you ladies come up with is amazing.
Thank you.
So okay, so let's say as a start, I really had the confidence that, and I know until today, no one can out knowledge me in competitive games.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have the most knowledge in the region. I don't think anyone can compete. Only Adham in League of Legends, maybe, because the guy is just so good, and especially in League of Legends. I'm I might actually probably wrong as well. Like Call of Duty, I don't really have that much of information on Call of Duty, or maybe probably right now PUBG Mobile. I don't know what the style is, but I am 100% sure you give me 2 days and I'll crush every analyst out there. I will
Wow.
call it yani. Because I
Okay.
just have it's not an ego, it's just I have so much knowledge going into gaming since I was young, and I was playing everything competitively, so the amount of knowledge and macros, mechanics, um, and every single detail. And if I go in depth in a game, I don't think anyone can actually see what I see in a specific game. So that's why. So for example, people would say, "Why did you pick Valorant over, for example, any other game?" I was like, "Okay, I played League of Legends, I played Counter Strike." FPS, and I played a MOBA. I played Overwatch, which is an FPS with abilities. So, and if we're talking about MOBA, there's only abilities. If we're talking about Counter Strike, there's only shooting. So if you play Overwatch, there's two of them: abilities and shooting. What's gonna happen in Valorant? It's CS:GO with League of Legends in one game. That means I have experience in all of these. There's rotations in every single game in both games, or those three games. Okay, there is bomb sites, just like exactly like Overwatch. There is specific points you need to capture.
I
It's
see.
similar to, yeah. So I added all these up together, and of course, the amount of knowledge I have, I don't think anyone can compete. It's just because of experience and time and effort spent across the years. So if anyone wants to compete, he needs to actually play competitively for like around what, 15 years or so,
Oof.
yeah, or
Okay.
so. Since I was 12, yeah, it would say
But
12.
tell me about your experience now, in your
Mm.
first event.
So in the first event was actually very interesting
What year was
because
it?
it was this year actually. I started with Valorant.
Oh, okay, okay.
As a professional analyst and a caster, I started with Valorant. Of course, I will call myself main analyst. I will not call myself a caster because it's not my main job
Yeah.
to begin with. But of course, it's definitely a thing you have to learn to cover up for your teammates and your colleagues in work. So being an analyst was very challenging. I really wanted to shine. I really wanted to be the best out there. Put my fingerprint, as we can say, on every single game, on every single match, and every single tournament. I really wanted to be that analyst that actually comes up with every single thing that people cannot actually see within the games. For example, game plans. For example. Controlling the pace of the
Yeah.
game. That team did something 3 rounds before uh, going into the fifth round that actually helped them in the sixth round. So people don't see actually that. So they just don't have the eye that I have. So something comes with experience, just as I said. So that's was my experience, and it was really challenging going through. For example, I really love all the casters and analysts we have in the MENA region, but it's definitely the thing you have to compete with someone to become the best. The best.
Exactly.
You can
Yeah.
always compete with yourself, but there is always also a limit for that,
Hmm.
because you cannot see your own mistakes. That's the thing about human beings. We cannot see our own mistakes. It's usually we always get the for example, the comments that comes to us from from other people, because we don't see our mistake. The mistakes always pointing when
From the
we do
outside.
yeah, from the outside. When we do a mistake, it's always a guy telling you that you did this. It's not you telling yourself I did this, unless it's a huge mistake and it's an obvious mistake. It's
Yeah.
definitely so. That was my experience at the start. So I started getting into it, and actually, thank God, alhamdulillah, I made it. And
Alhamdulillah.
then I went to Berlin
So that was
as
your last event, last LAN, right?
yes, the
Okay.
yeah, Berlin was my last LAN event. Before that, it was Strike Arabia Finals, which is one of the first professional LAN events that I was analyst for, and actually I casted a few games. So it was really such a great experience. No matter what the difficulties that the organizers had, whatever Riot Games had to go through, it doesn't matter. It happened. Okay, it's It's not about they did a bad job. It's just we're going through COVID-19 pandemic,
Yeah.
which is actually acceptable, and we have to keep that in mind. It's not that easy to actually organize a LAN event, especially when you're gathering talents around the world, gathering teams and players around the world just to compete in a LAN event. It's not that easy, especially getting all the production team that you have been working with for a whole year in one place. So it was really difficult task for us as a region as well, because it was our region was still growing. There's definitely gonna be mistakes. We just have to accept the stuff and grow together and learn from our mistakes, because that's how we should grow. If we keep putting negative vibes into this, we're not gonna evolve. We need to evolve. We need to go to the next step. We want to it's your dream. It's my dream to reach out there, right? So
Of course.
we have to be supportive. If we don't be supportive, it's a bad thing. It's gonna impact us later on. It might not show right now, but if we stay how we are right now, pointing out negative things, not being supportive for any kind of organization
Yeah.
or any kind of company or any kind of team, for example, or any kind of talent that we have, we're not gonna evolve, for example. So something we have to keep an eye on. So Berlin, it was such a blast. It was that's I think was the most impactful um, experience that I had in my entire career.
Why is that?
Okay, so I learned a lot of stuff just by going there. I learned that it's not just us as a region; it's also us as talents, us as people. There is a lot of stuff we need to learn from the most experienced regions in the world, which is EU and NA. Basically, I don't know about the Koreans since we don't understand them, so unless we actually watch, some I don't know. I think my brother was mentioning the other day K-pop, something like that.
Okay.
Is it K-pop?
Yeah,
Is it
K-pop.
Korean
It's
pop?
yeah, it's Korean
Kor-
pop, but
Korean pop?
it's not gonna help you with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
language.
yeah. I'm not sure, but he's talking Korean now.
Okay.
So yeah, so he knows a bit of Korean, a bit of Japanese. So he's in another world. So yeah, so I learned a lot of stuff, and I realized I had a lot of mistakes in my being an analyst.
Like what for an example?
Okay, so if I'm gonna put some mistakes that I was doing, especially on my first stream, because the pressure is real. Representing your MENA region was tough, especially going into something huge as the AMA LCQ. Um, let's talk about, for example, usually I'm the only analyst on the desk in Valorant,
Yeah.
Strike Arabia. So I have an ADHD, which is like I keep skipping and going into different tasks while I'm talking, which is similar to jumping from one subject to another, right? So it's just I'm going deep in my thoughts on what happened in the game or what happened in the past games, for example, the last month or last tournament. So I just keep thinking and going like spacing out, for example. So I'm not focusing on what's the host actually asking
Asked.
me.
Okay.
Yes. So when she asks me, for example, or he asks me, sometimes I literally ignore his question and just jump to whatever point I want to point out, which is actually very rude. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's not professional. So I need to actually answer the question, and if I have any other point, I can like transition that answer into that point that I want to point out. And I learned a lot on how to actually communicate or maybe get the synergy between me and my duo analyst. Since I was always alone, I'm not
Yeah.
used to this. I'm used to like talking 5 to 7 minutes straight, just like I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Du-du-du-du-du. Okay, just let's get things out there. Um, the thing I realized also, I need vocal lessons. Things I also learned, I
What
need.
do you mean vocal lessons?
So let's say I'm casting or being an analyst. I really need to know how to actually control my instrument, which is my throat.
Really?
Okay. yeah, it's very good. It's very helpful. Maybe not all casters do it, but I think it's one of the most important things you
Like
should
knowing
have.
when you should, like we should go high, and when knowing we should say something low.
Mm, It's just learning it. We will help you also control your breathing, and it will
Okay.
actually help you talk in a better way, and it will help you like control a specific amount. For example, when I'm talking with you right now,
Yeah.
I might go high up sometimes, I might go low sometimes. So when you learn vocal, your voice stays steady on the same note for the whole thing. So
That's
that's one of
interesting.
the, yeah, so that's very important. I feel like one of the people, if you actually want to improve, you have to improve in every single way. The amount of commitment that all the talents that had in uh, in the studio, they were, it's insane. Everyone was committed. That thing we don't have in Mina. Not everyone is committed to follow up with every single match. Not everyone is followed up with every single changes, rooster changes, transfers. Who's IGL? Who's coaching? Who's the manager, for example? Okay, where did that team come from? Who are these players? The research, the amount of research. So basically, it's commitment. Uh, so that's the thing. Um, you actually need, yeah, you actually need it to be that way, because you can, if we have a guy that's the only one committed to actually put in the work, we're not gonna improve as a region. Everyone has to put in the work and follow up with everything, because you actually, as a caster, as an analyst, it's your job to follow up. As a caster, it's your job to follow up too, because you need the history, you need the knowledge, you need to actually see and hear what this analyst is saying, and what kind of question is he receiving from the host, for example, and what's the answer for, and
Yeah.
what happened in that specific game, which will help you actually in casting. Because one of the things casting don't know, for example, let's, if we were going to watch a football game, the the commentator is always mentioning uh, old players, old games, old goals. He was like, oh my god, that goal was like, for example, Ronaldinho's goal from 1990, whatever. So that's history, that's power. When you bring that and into casting, it will actually give a very nice taste to the stream as well. So it's not just
Indeed.
you. Oh, it's like, okay, that guy, he knows his job. So, um, so that's it. The amount of commitment they had is much more better than us. And for example, before every single stream, we rehearse for 1 hour, which is, our rehearsal is actually an actual rehearsal, which is, it's like we rehearse like we're already live. So we point out our for example, answers to the host questions, and then, for example, oh, okay, I did answer that question, okay, but I can make that question much more better
And do
for
you
the viewer.
guys like rehearse on an actual game or just
No,
come and
we
be like,
for no, as an analyst, we rehearse on the topics,
okay,
okay, that we need to come up with. Okay, this player. Let's talk about this. Okay, this team had a transfer. Blah blah blah. Who's, talking about the teams that are coming, underdogs, for example. Keep things interesting. As casters, they check the mics. They cast for 5 to 10 minutes.
on
So
a
it's
on a
like
game.
yeah, yeah. It's just any game. It's just to keep, just to get the feel that we're actually live. That's before going live. So that's actually very good.
Yeah, that's
And I
actually
would,
interesting.
yeah, it's just to keep things in line and stay with the timeline, for example. That's very good point. I actually learned how to stay with the timeline. If we have a timeline, I learned how to actually stay with the timeline for the production, because we know sometimes games stay for so long, and yeah, they stay for so long, and the game starts like after 1 hour of the original time. That's because our timeline got messed up because of the analyst desk, or maybe the caster desk. After they finish a game or before going into the game,
You're
they
this
talk
is
too
in
much.
Mena or there. Where
No, in
is
general.
in
It's in
general?
general.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it happens in every single stream. But if you have a professional talents that's actually they got used to this and trained enough to actually keep in the track of the timeline. The stream will be insane. So I learned actually a lot of things, giving and taking feedbacks. That's the thing we do not have in MENA region. Once you give a feedback, he thinks that you want to fight, or you want to cause problems, or it's like you're making. It's like he feels offended immediately. There,
Yeah.
no, like they love to support each other. It's different. Um, and I'm actually that's actually surprised me. Like it was amazing, you know, finish finishing a specific segment in a after a stream, and it goes into the game. Us analysts and the host go to our room to watch the live feed, for example, and watch the game. And the amount of feedback we get from each other is amazing, and no one is getting sensitive or anything because we all want to get better.
I guess, the issue we have in our region is that we don't know how to communicate the feedback, and it comes as harsh. I mean, it depends
It's
on the person.
maybe the approach, and also yeah, there is a lot of ego in our region. People do not want to accept anything negative, or any comments or any kind of feedback from any other person that he doesn't trust.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that there is trust, but us as colleagues, especially when we are in gaming, especially when we're all in the same field, we're all in the same area, same game, we need to help each other improve by giving each other feedbacks.
Mm.
For example, the first feedback I got was the question. Okay, Tux, you didn't focus on my question. You instantly jumped. All right, apologize. Thank you for that point. I'll try to focus next time. That's it. Did something happen?
No?
Nothing happened. I got the feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
If I was gonna talk to, for example, some Mina talents will accept it, but for example, if I went to a Mina talent and told him, okay, bro, you didn't talk about that part, but you should have mentioned it. But whatever, it's done. It's like, no, bro, it's not that important. And it's instantly an
A
argument.
fight. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just, all right, thank you, appreciate it. I'll try to do better next time. No, there's no that. And one of the things that actually got me into Berlin is not my hard work and dedication and passion only. It was also my attitude. I think my attitude had much more actually part in getting me into Berlin than my hard work and passion and dedication. And I really love the prediction that we have for Valorant. Like really, really love them. Like
That is
from my heart.
nice.
Like they're amazing. They're amazing. Like the amount of work they put in, it's like I feel like I'm not the only one working. So it feels good that you have a team to actually, you know,
Push
you all
you.
have your, yeah, you all have your own goals, and you can support each other and push together. They
Yeah.
cannot improve without you, and you cannot improve without them.
Did you have an issue with the language? Because in VCT you had to speak English, but usually, I mean, you spent most of your career speaking Arabic. So how did you switch up to English?
Yeah. So as you can see, my English is not that bad, and even though my
It's not
accent
bad.
is not that bad, yeah, I don't think it's bad.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you. It's because across playing online games, communicating with people around the world, it's actually improved my English a lot. But going to there, especially the first day, I'm not gonna lie, I did so bad. In my opinion, I did so bad. Uh, as the first day, I should have been more comfortable. I did a huge mistake on focusing about I need to do good because I'm a at the moment I'm a representative for the MENA region. So I think I was focusing on that too much instead of focusing what's gonna happen, like which is the games
Yeah.
and the tournament itself. So I learned from that mistake as well. So going into the second stream and the third stream that I was in, I was in three streams. I was, I think, in the third and the first, third day, and the day before the finals. Um, so going to the second and third, I felt like I destroyed the analyst desk. I said much more comfortable. I was much more better in pointing out stuff, focusing on myself, focusing on what I'm gonna say. And one of the things I also noticed that I kept. I would thank Ryan Central. He was my duo analyst in Berlin, and he gave me that feedback, which is he told me, your points are outstanding, your points are fantastic, but there's one thing, you jump into multiple points at once. So I'll mention this and this and this and this and this in one specific in one speech,
Yeah.
which is will decrease let's say it will decrease the quality of what I'm gonna say about this specific point, and I will not cover the point properly. So that's helped me a lot to actually focus on one point or maximum 2 points. I'm not just gonna keep going, with pointing out more and more and more points, which is actually will get the audience or the fan base lost. Like, what
Yeah.
is he talking about? He didn't finish about that point. I want to hear more.
I understand
So
that.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I went to the second, third stream. I did much more better. Going, translating everything in Arabic and English, because I did it for a whole year. My English is not bad. I know it's not bad, but the words are not coming out. It was insane on the first day. It was like I went to the hotel room and I was like, oh my god, how did that happen? I need to watch the VODs. I asked the VODs. I asked the production for the VODs. They sent me the VODs. I kept watching it all night until 4 a.m. And I was like, "Oh my god, what did I do? I need to fix this stuff." And I took a break. You have to give yourself a break.
Of
You
course.
tried your best
Yeah.
as a person. So I took a break. Next stream, I
You
got
did a great
everything.
job.
Yeah. Thank you. I pulled everything. I pulled myself together. Let's say, because it's experience. Pulling yourself together is experience. That's easy.
Yeah, this is actually an amazing experience, and you gave us so much insight. So thank you for that. And I will definitely keep in mind the voice thingy you said, and
Vocal.
vocal,
Yeah,
and
vocal lessons.
vocal lessons, and taking feedback from others. So now I have a special game for you. This is actually the first time I do this on with an interviewer. So okay, this is the game. It's
Let's
basically,
go. I like winning.
you like winning? There's no winning or losing. It's just this or that.
Ah,
Sorry.
no, I thought this game. Okay, let's go.
So we're gonna start with something easy. You have to answer fast though. Okay, you don't think. Okay.
Okay.
Black or white?
Black or white?
Yes.
Black.
Right or left?
Right.
Money or passion?
Passion.
Sage or sky?
Sage.
Host or analyst?
Host. Analyst.
See, that's the point of this game. It's you take what's deep inside of you, the real answers, and now you just gave it to Tuxedo. What can I say? You should be a host. Okay, analyst or caster?
Analyst.
Solo analyst or duo analyst?
Duo.
Razor or smooth?
Smooth.
Bind or heaven?
Bind.
Money or passion?
Passion.
Suits or tux?
Tux.
Normal career versus esports career?
What?
Normal career versus an esports career?
Esports career, definitely.
All right. That was the this or that, and we get to know you better. Now I get to know that you actually want to be a host. Thank you for that.
I want to try it. I don't want to be a host. I want to try it.
You want to try it? I see. So,
I want to see how good I will become as a host, because it's just, because I tried casting, I tried analyst. The only thing I didn't try is being a host, which is, I want to try it. I think I'll not do bad, but it's definitely my analyst. Yeah, my being an analyst what got me here. So I will always stick with that. And what actually got me here is also right games and the production that we had, because we gave each other the exposure we needed. We supported each other. We trusted each other, and yeah, without them, I could have not achieved what I achieved. And also without the people that supported me from our region, definitely I will thank myself for all the dedication and patience that I had across the years. Going through a lot, life was messy. It's like I still stood up and stayed focused on whatever I want to achieve. And yeah, I would thank myself for that. To be honest.
Well, you jumped to the thanking, you know? But that's okay. That's okay,
Uh,
Tuxedo.
I don't know. We can create another one. I got
All
more.
right,
I got
good.
more.
So
I made it shortcut.
now we talked about your where did you come from, how did you become an analyst, caster, your experience in events, and all of that. Now I want to know like your expectations for our MENA region and what do you think makes our region special?
If we're talking about players, we have an insane amount of talented players across MENA. Organizations, they need to take things more seriously. Take hire coaches from MENA region, not from any other region, because we need to nurture our coaches as well. We're not gonna improve if we rely on others. It's not about like, oh, we don't want that guy, we don't want that guy, we don't want to take people from that region. No, it's not nothing like that. It's like we just want to build our own thing, our own style, our own mentality, our own mindset, um, build ourselves, support each other. I would like to also say to the audience that you don't need to become a player. You don't need to become a coach. You don't need to become just a streamer or a YouTuber or a content creator. You have multiple options. Uh, like what I mentioned right now, you can become a player, coach, caster, analyst, host. You can become a media manager. You can
Professional
become
viewer.
you can become an observer, which is you actually go into the game that is being live streamed and you are the observer. You're one of the best observers around, so people will book you because your camera angles are good for the casters. That's the job. That's
True.
the thing that I found out in Berlin as well. They have specific observers. They hire them. They are getting hired across the world just to go and observe a game. So that's actually interesting. Being a
It
spectator.
is actually.
So yeah, you have multiple options to create your own brand. For example, you can become a chef. You can cook for the players to actually get the regimen right with their sports exercises coach, for example, or their fitness coach. Okay, uh, you can become study psychology and become a psychological coach for them to keep their mindsets right in the tournaments and whatsoever. So there is a lot of options for people out there. So yeah,
Just go for it.
yeah, just go do whatever you want to do.
All right. And so finally, Tuxedo, is there what advice would you give to people who look you up and want to do things just like you? Any advice?
I would say first, as a Muslim, I would say don't forget God, because without Him, you can't do anything really. Second thing, patience. Uh, Third, being alone is not bad. Being alone actually teaches you a lot of things, but it depends on how you approach it. And the best advice I would give to anyone, that advice came from my cousin. Always play with the cards that you have. Look at the cards, for example, or the options that you have, and just go with the options that you have, and do you, and keep believing. One more thing. Um, I actually forgot that point. It just came to me and went away, so it's okay.
ADHD.
Yeah, it happens. You know, right? Oh,
I know.
it's
Don't worry.
yes.
Anything else?
Yeah. Yeah. Just do you believe in yourself? Patience. Yeah. Wait for the puzzle pieces of the puzzle to fall into place. Don't force the pieces of the puzzles to go. Uh, for example, and it's not like don't let it be messy. Don't force it in. Let the pieces of the puzzles fall alone. They will create the best picture.
Indeed. Thank you, Tuxedo, so much for this interview. I know you thanked yourself and you thanked people earlier, so do you want to do it again or you have any new thank yous?
Yeah, I would like to thank you, Momo, first for this interview. It
Thank
was
you.
really fun. I know it's like a little bit like this is one of the things I'm trying to improve.
Yeah?
Okay, I found myself um, when I'm talking, I'm too serious.
Not really.
Really? Oh, okay, good.
I think because that's the vibe we're looking for here, at least.
Maybe, probably. So yeah, I find yeah. So
And plus, this is something you're very passionate about, so you being serious is just a sign of
yeah.
respect, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. One more advice I would like to add is self investment, guys. Self investment. Try to whatever if you're working or if you're getting an amount of money you want to save up, invest in yourself. Even though if you will put yourself in difficult situations, you might go through difficult situations right now, but later on it will definitely pay off because you invested in yourself, and people will invest in you afterwards, and that's why I have multiple suits, Momo.